All right. I know I already previously made a video about the best lens that I found for the Fujifilm X-E4, but I'm making another one because now I for sure found the best lens for the X-E4. This is the Voigtlander 27mm f2, made specifically for the Fuji X mount, and it pretty much ticks every box of what I was looking for to pair with my X-E4. This lens is super compact, so compact in fact that it doesn't tip over the camera. See? Rock solid. 27mm on an APS-C sensor is about a 40mm full frame equivalent, which for me is a perfect day-to-day focal length. Sometimes 35mm is just a little bit too wide, and then other times 50mm is just a little bit too tight. So 40mm is like a good sweet spot. Sounding like freaking Goldilocks out here. The aperture ring on this lens has click stops, which for me is amazing because anytime I use a lens that does not have click stops, I am constantly bumping it throughout the day and shifting my exposure, and it drives me crazy. It also has a focus tab, which I enjoy using, but also is kind of a necessity on this lens because it is so small that you can't really grip the focus ring at all without that tab. Also, not really important, but it's pretty important to me. And this lens looks really great on the front of the X-E4, but it would look even better if Square Hood would just come out with their square hood for this lens. They teased it in like November, and I have been waiting ever since. It is driving me crazy. And probably most of all, it has a great look to the images that it produces. The image quality on this lens is fantastic. It's got good contrast, it's got good subject separation, and it's got great colors. When I'm shooting on the Fuji, I am not concerned at all with corner to corner sharpness. So if that's something that you're looking for in this video, you're not gonna find it because I didn't do any of them. I always shoot with film simulations and a diffusion filter on the front of this lens because I really want to get that like Fujifilm look. So if you're already taking steps to soften your image, what does corner to corner sharpness really matter? For a small manual focus lens, this thing is actually relatively expensive. It retails for $595 US, which when compared to TT Artisan X-mount lenses seems really pricey, but you really are paying for quality. Voigtlander has had a reputation for decades for their optical quality, and this lens is no slouch. You can really feel the quality of this lens when you're using it. I found my copy of this lens used for about $450, so if you're willing to look on the used market, you can save a few bucks. There is very little that I don't like about this lens, but if I had to pick something, I guess I would say that I wish that the focus tab had a little curve in it for my finger because sometimes it just kind of slips off. So that'd be nice if it was a little more ergonomic. And I guess maybe if the lens was a little bit faster, but I really don't mind the f2 aperture at all. And I have to stop it down quite often actually. Other than that, the only thing that I can think of that would be a con for some people, but is actually a pro for me, is that it's manual focus only. Personally, I love manually focusing my images when I'm shooting on the Fuji, but I can definitely see how it could be a con for some people. If you really need autofocus though, just get the Fujifilm 27mm 2.8. It's actually cheaper than the Voigtlander as well. This lens does have contact points to transmit data to the camera, so that's nice at least because you can kind of see your focus scale on the back of the camera or the viewfinder. Kind of nice. Overall, this lens is as close to perfect for a walk-around lens that I think I will ever find for the X-E4. I just need that square hood. What is your perfect lens for your Fujifilm camera? I would love to hear about that down in the comments. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing. It greatly helps this channel out. And I will see you in the next one.